EA single-player Star Wars story game without DLC, season pass, and loot boxes? Electronic Arts, is that you? With some delay due to force majeure, we talk about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, a game in which you can feel like a Jedi. The last decent single-player games in which we were given the opportunity to swing a lightsaber and feel like a real Jedi were the controversial Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2008 and Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 2010. If we talk about a really good single player action or action adventure in the Star Wars universe, you will have to roll back in further into the past. In some days of Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. Yes, the recent Star Wars Battlefront 2 also had a single player campaign in which we were given Jedi weapons from time to time, but it was too short and chaotic, and the loot boxes scandal pretty damaged the reputation of this project. So the appearances of the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is the real miracle for which Respawn Entertainment and creators of Titanfall, Titanfall 2 and Apex Legends should be thanked. Among the other things, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order in the first Electronic Arts game after an 8 years hiatus to the hit Steam, marking the publisher return to WoW. Yes, is another round of confrontation between the Steam and Epic Games Store, and EA obviously received very good performances from WoW, but the players will only benefit from such competition. The Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order prologue set on Bracca is the linear tutorial level that is significantly different from the rest of the game, and if you like what it shows, you will not necessarily like the game itself. The fact is the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is a mix of the next skill gain access to the new areas of the map and games in the style of Dark Souls from Software. The main task in which is not to die and at the hands of the weakest enemy and to get the next fire. Here, the points of the meditation. Along the way, open a short passage to the point you need. However, if you do not like the Souls game, in Fallen Order there is no opportunity to change the difficulty level, which here, and its very rare case, seriously affects the game, dramatically changing. So, you can change. The most acceptable for most players, especially for those who are not very fond of games in the spirit of the Dark Souls, the difficulty mode is Jedi Knight. Here the damage done by opponents has been reduced, their aggressive has been reduced, and the parry window of the countery has been expanded. At the level of difficulty, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order lots of similarity to the Dark Souls and becomes more like an action adventure in style of the Prince of Persia series of the games of the Sans Time era. Still quite difficult but already quite passable. You will die unless through your own negligence and you can feel like a real Jedi and not have some kind of squishy which can be hammered by 3 alien groupers. However, the boss fights, even at the level of difficulty, remain quite difficult and requires studying enemy combat techniques and finding methods to resist them. Unlike most EA games, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order uses the Unreal Engine instead of the Frostbite. The game looks good in dynamics and planets different in appearance, flora and fauna, some of which the authors had to invert on the purpose. However, sometimes their pictures still looks like blurry and it's completely impossible to take normal screenshots during the battles. But, Fallen Order also has performance issues on the PC. This is expressed in the FPS drops during particularly tense moments of the battle, but on the Xbox One S consoles and even on the PlayStation 4 Pro and on PlayStation 5, there were some delays with loading textures and the objects. What definitely pleased me that was the soundtrack, and although the authors tried to create something different from the classic film music of the Star Wars, from the time to time familiar melodies are woven into the composition, and it was very pleasant to meet these echoes. While Respawn Entertainment, which somehow quietly turned into the EA main studio, managed to revive the single-player games in the Star Wars universe, and while the Fallen Order has some plot and performance issues, overall it's a very solid project that makes you feel like an almighty Jedi for the first time in a long time. It will take you for 10-15 hours to complete Fallen Order, depending on the chosen level of difficulty and meticulousness, quite good for a single player game. Star Wars Fallen Order has already had the best digital start and the best PC sales of any EA Star Wars games. According to the publisher, by the March 31, 2020, that was almost a year and a half, a circulation of the game on all platforms exceeded 6 million copies. According to the rumors, Respawn Entertainment has already received EA's approval to develop a sequel. So, if it goes on like this, you will see EA finally give a loot boxes and will release more single player games. Hey EA, think about Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic there. Maybe it's time to revive the project? The first decent single player game in the Star Wars universe in 10 years. We hope it to continue. Thank you EA. And also, I would like to say you guys, thank you for the watching. I appreciate you. Please don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Peace.